things on the agenda, and then when the rest of the board members get here, we'll, transition. So I'm gonna ask Supervisor Little if you'll lead us in prayer, please.
Dear Lord, thank you so much for all the wonderful things you've given us and all the things that you do for us each and every day, Lord. Lord, please give us discernment today as we go through, interviewing, open our hearts and our minds, Lord, so we'll make the right decision on everything and on all of our county business. Lord, please be with us as we go through this week and watch over all of our families, and watch over us and protect us and keep us safe, Lord. Thank you for all you do for us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Supervisor Little. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Morning, Supervisor Carver.
Hey, good morning, y'all.
We're waiting on one other board member, but we're gonna go ahead and start some things on the agenda until Supervisor Williams arrives. We're gonna start with our Chancellor Clerk, Ms. Livingston.
All right, I got a couple of things. The first thing I have is to, accept the amended final budget for year 23-24.
So moved.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little to accept the final amended budget. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Also, I need to acknowledge that I received a letter from Department of Revenue that they did approve the real and personal property for the year of 2024.
Motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Trainer. Any discussion? Motion passes. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Accepted what? I'm sorry.
The real and personal property assessment for 24.
Oh, we're not, oh, they got, bid on that, of course, you know that.
Morning, Supervisor Williams. We went ahead and started handling some things on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
And soon as our Chancellor Clerk finishes, we'll transition into our interview.
Okay.
I just had two more things. I've got an affidavit of publication from the Clean Major paper for the bids for the Sturgis Maven line.
Motion by Supervisor Little, second by, Supervisor Trainer, bids for the Maven Sturgis Road. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
And then I got, affidavit of publication from the Clean Major for the Douglas Town Road.
Motion by, Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Trainer, publication for Douglas Town Road. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Was it Douglas Town Road or Morgantown Road?
The first one was, Sturgis Maven Road.
Uh-huh.
The second one was Douglas Town Road.
Douglas, thank you.
And that's all I have.
Okay, all right. Okay,
There anything like state aid order accepted, Mr. Pritchard, did he attend?
We're not doing that
Mr.
right
Pritchard.
now.
we hadn't got to that. This is the only item we've handled
Oh, okay.
on the, agenda.
Okay,
Yeah, we were waiting
Yeah.
until we got a full board.
right.
So we're gonna go ahead now and, transition into our interview process. How would the board like to handle? Would we do this this is a personnel issue, so we can enter into executive session.
I like to stay in open session, that's what we've done in the past.
Got interview and open session?
Yeah.
I wanna go into executive session,
Okay.
so whatever.
We'll take motions.
Open session, one thing I was gonna ask about was technicality on, like, just do all these interviews and then we'll turn around and.
Let's carry these motions. We first got a motion from Supervisor Trainer, to stay in open session to do the interviews. That's a motion. Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of second. Got a motion by Supervisor Little to enter into executive session to hold our interview process. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and moved, motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Carver, to enter into executive session. All in favor?
Opposed.
Motion passes 4-1. We'll now.
Actually, you just had a motion to determine whether or not you should go into executive session. Y'all can discuss whether or not you wanna go into executive session because of a personnel matter. Now we go into executive session, so it's
Okay,
two
we will amend that motion to go into closed session to discuss going into.
If we're gonna make a motion to offer someone a position,
Until they accept the
you know exactly what I'm thinking here. I'm wondering, cause I don't.
Oh, we can't talk to them, you know.
We're on.
Okay. Thank you all so much. We've now come out of, executive session. We did hire all of our applicants while we were in executive session with, interview all of, I'm sorry. We did interview all of our applicants while we were in executive session, but there was no action taken. He's coming, I called him and told him.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm sorry.
With that being said, we did interview all 7 applicants, and I think the board has come to a decision to make an offer to our top candidate. With that being said, can we get a motion to make an offer to our candidate of choice? Supervisor Little, that motions that our candidate of choice is Mr. Wayne Carpenter. Can I get a second on to that? Second by Supervisor Williams. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. The next action of the board will be to, call Mr. Carpenter back in and discuss with him, salaries and responsibilities. So that will take place, as soon as Mr. Carpenter arrives. I'm assuming we will go back into executive session to discuss, personnel issues with salaries. That being said, we're gonna go ahead and enter into our, next phase of our board meeting. If the board don't mind, we've got a young lady that wants to come before the board and speak to us about a tax issue. Miss Cheryl, would you come forward and, speak to the board, please?
And thank y'all so much for seeing me this on this short notice. I called my road supervisor, Mr. Williams, and talked to Marvell, and I got a letter from FIG that my property had been sold. And I had no idea. And the paperwork that came didn't come to my address. Plus, I am disabled, so I don't pay taxes. When this property was deeded out, let me back up. My mother died in 2020. And in 2021, my sister and I had the land surveyed. And then we came and filled out all the necessary forms. I got my disability stuff together, took it to the taxes. All this was in 21. And we were finished, we thought. And next thing we know, because my sister paid twice property taxes. Now this is at 461. I live at 433.
What's
I've
the
been at
address?
461.
Which road?
Outlaw.
Okay.
And I am at 433 Outlaw. Always been there. And so, I never received anything. There was nothing in the box. My sister don't live in the house. She lives in Georgia. So that gate is locked. But she comes home at least twice a year. She checks the mail. She didn't have anything in the mail. Cause that's something we would've gotten on if we had seen it, but I never got anything. And I don't know whether they sent out, I know it wasn't certified, The only thing I got certified was the mail from Fig, the investment company, who, the property was sold to. That was certified, and that was it. I knew nothing other than that, and it's talking about 461. So when my sister called, because that's her property, they said, no, we bought 433. And so she calls me back and said, do you have all your paperwork in a row? And I said, yeah. She said, well, they're talking about your property. So that started me on a journey. And here I am. I really, as I told Mr. William Marvell, I am speechless. I don't even know the language to say other than they can't have my property. And then they want me to pay $3,500.
And just to add a little bit into it, she got a notice to vacate the property. Is what happened.
And that's where you're living now.
Yes, at 433. And the people at Fig still thinking they're coming to 461. That's what the investment, the people who bought the property, they said they're coming to 461 when we talked to them, and we said no. And my sister says no. He said, well, she said, what point did you buy? What part of the land? He said, we bought the 1.42. Well, that's me. My sister's is 1.12. And he said, I said, well, I'm at 433. He says, well, I'm sorry. We don't know. Whatever the mistake is, you got to go through your court people. So I'm here because I need this to end. I don't know what to do. So I'm
What
at
did
the
the
mercies
tax
of you
assessor's
guys.
office say?
Well, can I interrupt you a little bit on this? When I went over to the county administration office and just overheard Supervisor Howard on the phone with Fig. Number one, Fig has not requested for a tax deed, so they don't have a tax deed, so they have no right telling her to vacate the property. Number two, I had gotten with Jo Helen Walker, because this happened before her time, and she's checking into it, and she will be presenting to the board to do an erroneous tax sale. And Supervisor Howard is my witness. When I talked to the guy at Fig, I told him that we were gonna do an erroneous tax sale, and he agreed that that would be what we could do. That's what he told us on the phone.
That was where my.
So, yes. And I do wanna say that I've been, anyhow, listening and following to a lot of things from some other counties. And I do think that it's a good move that we're getting an IT person, and maybe the county needs to look into it, because a lot of their homes and property are being sold out from under them, especially without them knowing. It doesn't have anything to do with the tax office itself. It has to do with people that are good on the computer and see this person, this little piece of property where you know, like, and they find you. And if you don't know, you're winding up there, and if they don't have anybody to back them, which I'm glad we're part of the, you know, the supervisor, we can get the erroneous tax sale. It's kind of sounding like a little scam to me,
That's
especially
what
if they
we
don't
thought.
have
I almost didn't
if
even
they don't
pay
have a real
attention to
estate
that.
But what
tax
got
thing.
us involved in it is because every year it was exempt, except for 21, and like I talked to mapping and appraisal, how can everything be exempt? Why was 21 not exempt? 22, 23 is exempt, everything prior to that is exempt. How did it
So-
I think it's sold 3 years in a row.
No.
No,
just
but he's
21.
had the tax deed for 3 years,
No.
and you have up to 3 years to
See-
redeem.
See, what's got me this is what's so confusing about it, and we need Rob's input. The taxes were sold for 21, so basically that's only 1 year. 22, 23, she was exempt. So
But if you, and I could be wrong, but if you purchase it in 21 and you still own it in 22 and you still own it in 23, now you've owned that tax deed for 3 years.
But
So-
part of the
so time
statute
is-
says it has to be sold those 2 years in a row, and here's
it has to be
the,
sold 3 years in a row,
Correct.
and 22 and 23 are exempt.
and to
That's
make
what
matters
I'm
worse, and this is part of the confusion. Whenever she's exempt, the 21 taxes that we're talking about, you cannot clear up 21, you cannot pay, you cannot be
can't pay
exempt from
20.
paying, correct.
Exactly,
Taxes
without
are
paying
due.
21.
You
That's
cannot
what we
pay
were saying.
taxes 22 or 23 or be exempt.
But it sounds like they're working with us in
Yes,
terms
the
of.
tax
And she paid
assessor is
22
working.
and 23.
So, here's what, see,
Yes, on this
we're
one it's
going,
exempt.
we're going to approve the erroneous tax sale, But another part of what, Ms. Martin is saying is this. Although they have agreed to let her keep the property after we approve the erroneous tax sale, they are saying that they have $3,500 in attorney fees and things of that nature that she's gonna have to pay them.
I don't have $35.
Now, what she's saying is this, it was through no fault of her own that she got in this situation. It actually don't really know yet what happened, but if it came from the county's, of neglect from the county or the tax assessor's office, she should have to be responsible for paying this $3,500.
I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
once you approve that erroneous tax sale, the tax assessor will refund them the money that they purchased the taxes at the land sale. They will not get their overbid back and they will not get interest back.
Okay.
The only thing that they're gonna get back is their money of what was owed on taxes.
My question is, and keep in mind, I don't know the answer to this, but I do have the question, whenever they do an overbid and it is a mistake, I'd be curious to know whether or not, and I'll find out, I'll chase this down to make sure, because I'm curious as to know if we can give them back their money if it was a mistake. I understand what you're saying on the, when they overbid.
Okay, so the overbid, yeah.
Yeah, you and I are on the same page.
Yeah. That would be a question that you may can get with
The auditor's
Joe Ellen
office.
Walker or the auditor, yeah.
The auditors is who.
But Joe Ellen Walker she is on of what's going on, cause her and I talked.
And she's gonna bring the erroneous tax sale to us for that, okay.
Ms. Martin wanted the peace of mind to know that
Yes.
once the county approves this erroneous tax sale, then it falls upon the county to feed their money back for the purchase, but she will no longer be held responsible in
Right.
any way for this $3,500. That's, she's needing to know that the erroneous approval of the erroneous tax sale will avoid all.
It should, the problem that you run into with stuff like this is that we can take it upon ourselves and when you make a motion to have the attorney to look into this and make sure that I'm covering this. But she shouldn't have to be bothered with this, so put it on me and we'll
Okay.
figure out what's going on.
Thank you.
Okay.
I was gonna say, sure, don't have to pay what's left over from
No,
it.
ma'am.
Okay.
So attorney, do we need to wait on the erroneous tax sale?
We need to wait, it probably would be best to wait on the erroneous tax sale at that time, because we don't even know how much money, I don't know how much money.
I thought she was gonna be at the meeting today, but I guess with everything, she's probably just gonna wait till the first meeting in November.
Can the board, in the meantime, go ahead and approve you to communicate this with FIG so that
Do I need to
you
get
don't
the
have to
fee
be
papers
involved
to
in
y'all?
this?
I'd like copies of everything, I don't want you to give them,
Okay.
well, tell you what, I'm not gonna.
It's not a problem.
If you will do this for me, if you will.
I have it already copied.
Oh, perfect, never mind.
We need a motion to authorize our board attorney, motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. That is to authorize our board attorney to communicate.
Thank you very
With,
much for
Thank
coming.
you.
Sorry that happened to you.
Yeah.
I can sleep tonight. Yes.
About the
Sleep
Martin
tonight.
property.
Well, I'm glad that Ron will look into it, he'll take care of it.
I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all.
Okay,
Bless you,
okay.
bless you.
All right.
Have a
And I
good
would
one.
say FIG is actually, they usually do a pretty good job. They are real. I don't want there to be any question on that side of it. They've just got, they've got their cart before, they got the cart
Yeah.
before the horse. I think that's really good. Cause
I
they
just
bought
wish
other
that
stuff.
people that these companies would quit doing this to these people,
Yes.
sending them to vacate the property when they have not received the tax deed.
And he told me he had the tax.
No.
He said that Monday. I didn't think he did.
Yeah, he was arguing with you
Yeah.
about, well, I can do that.
Yeah, and I said, no, you can't, so,
Okay. So
cause
I'm
I've got all the
clear.
paperwork on my desk, and I haven't issued a tax deed.
Mr. President, my concern is that there was a lack of communication. When those taxes,
Thank you.
Dr. Cheryl.
when their mother passed in 20, I imagine that the land went to maybe our property or something like that, so no one received a reduction because of,
Right.
age or because of, disability. But it seems as if they would have told Ms. Martin that there are some past due taxes when they come in to pay. When they come in to pay the 22 taxes.
See,
They should have been communicated in such a way
Right,
that
but
there
they
are
were-
some back taxes.
They were
that are-
exempt, so nobody
It was
knew.
Yeah, it was exempt.
Everybody-
Mother was exempt.
Yeah, mother was exempt,
Yeah.
but there's a place in between there.
And I
There's
agree
a-
that should have been,
Yeah.
that should have been the homestead department
Right,
to send
that's-
out a letter
Yeah.
that the homestead was taken away.
That's what I'm saying,
But-
that's why I'm saying
But
there's a lack
nobody-
of communication.
but nobody
And-
knew.
And that department should communicate better with individuals like that in relation to past due.
I
and
see, I
past
understand what
due.
you're saying, but if they don't know that these people have passed away, I
But,
just,
but now they
But they
said that
don't-
once
they-
their mother passed away in 20, they went on up and had the survey
everything,
done,
yeah.
Survey,
had the
everything.
land divided, had the deed put in each one of those names, and she said she gave them her disability
Yeah,
paper,
sure did.
so that was not a,
Physically.
that was not a
yeah,
gap.
she told me that.
She physically took in the disability.
So that was
saying-
not a
Shouldn't have
gap.
been a gap.
Right.
So it should have been a gap.
Exactly.
They should have communicated with them, saying, look, I know you're paying the 22 taxes, but
No,
there's
she's
no,
never paid
21.
none.
no,
She's,
no.
she was exempt for 22 and 23.
No.
That
Yeah,
was
but-
not a
Yeah,
gap.
but the sister name, keep in mind.
The
sister
sister
was
on
still
her part.
paying taxes.
On her part.
Yeah, her part,
But-
which is the part where the parents' house was.
Right.
Or where the original tax was being sent.
But somehow or another, it got messed up,
Nope.
and it ended up with Michelle's property, is
Yeah.
what this
Yeah,
was.
but see, but the sister did pay her
The
part of
sister- the
taxes.
sister been paying
So-
her taxes.
Been paying her taxes.
So her taxes were paid.
It's all confusing.
That's what I'm saying, there should be
Miss
some
Cheryl
communication
should have never,
there.
she should have
She
been
should've
exempt the whole time, because the sister has been paying taxes on the part that she got.
She's been paying
Well,
her
it even
taxes.
sounds like the address,
It's on, it
Incorrect.
is incorrect.
just so y'all are aware, typically, if somebody has an issue with something like this, and let's say that it was not erroneous, let's say that it was, that they really were supposed to pay taxes and they did not, you can take them to Chancery Court and get that set aside for address
Right,
mistakes.
confirm it's all-
Yeah, you can do, there's a lot of, so she had a lot of things going for her, on top of it all, not just the mistake.
But she couldn't afford to get an
And
attorney.
it went to.
Well, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And she was scared to death. She
She's
did
gonna
this
lose
notice
the
to vacate the property, and she was, you know, she was scared to death.
She was.
She's a sweetheart. I've done helped her twice, so she's a sweetheart.
So there was actually never a lapse in property taxes being paid. Never deleted.
Never
No,
even
no, never. And there's another exact situation, I think, that, the exact same thing. I think she's planning on bringing two
Okay.
erroneous taxes.
She is, she
Yeah.
told me about the,
Yeah.
yeah, she is.
Someone should have communicated better and let them know that there was some past due taxes on that.
That was
property.
never past due taxes.
Yeah.
It should
That's
have
the
been.
problem. That was never past due taxes. Because the sister
You know-
wasn't 65, but she was still paying, she paid her part once they,
Let's see if we understand that.
Somehow or another, it got sold because it's in my office.
I know you talking, but let's see what we understand. 461 is where the parents were living.
Correct.
Okay, Cheryl never owned that property.
No.
She did. She just had a mobile home on that property.
correct.
So the parents were responsible for the taxes,
Which they were exempt.
not Cheryl.
Right.
So after the father had already passed, way back,
Mm-hmm.
so the mother passed in 2020. So let's think, there's a gap in time that property gonna revert back to, our property.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's our property, then nobody is eligible for
Exemption.
exemption.
I see what
Now,
you're saying.
that should have been communicated,
You're correct.
should have been communicated with Cheryl. Now, somebody told them, say, look, just a few months here, and that property was our property, and no one is exempt. So while you paying 22 taxes, let's go back and pay 21 taxes also. That was never communicated. That, so.
He said that. But see, here,
It's the lack of communication, basically, lack of
taxes are a year
communication.
behind. So 19 taxes are not due until 2020.
Correct.
2020 taxes are not
Not
due
due
until
till
21. So in
21
it,
is
but
not due till
22,
22.
so, but they had the property deeded, they had, and so she kept paying tax, so, I can get exempt, I can file for exemption, now, and then for the prior year. So, that was never a gap in delinquent taxes. That was never a gap in delinquent tax, because Cheryl was exempt. Monty paid her part, so that was never a gap in delinquent taxes. So they never should've went to the sale, is what happened.
Right.
Yeah, they never should've went to the sale.
I'm glad we're working on that, to get
Yeah.
that taken care of. It scared me too, I know it scared her.
Oh, I know it
When she
did.
say you gotta move out of your home.
I know, and that bless her heart, and I told her,
For those out there in TV land, we've been here all morning and nobody's eating anything, so.
Thank you, Rob. Is one of them thin crust?
There is a thin
I
crust.
want that one,
Thin
Ron,
crust.
in your hand.
Chief?
Club.
No, I'm good. I don't want, I'm good.
It's amazing, man. The TV land just got up and I ain't worried about TV land, to be honest.
Here's them.
That's the thing.
I want them.
Here's
I
what
said,
y'all, what you want. Diet Coke, Dr. Pepper, Coke. What y'all want? Diet Coke.
You early now?
Hey, I'll take
No,
that.
anyway.
We had a meeting.
No, Dr.
on
Pepper?
Monday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You want the Dr. Pepper?
She's a coach.
Open it for it.
I got a strawberry and cream Dr. Pepper, somebody. I didn't buy that, somebody.
Saturday.
Right.
One more doctor.
Yeah. I don't understand what's happening in the tax office.
Anybody want a Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, that's good.
We got plenty of drinks over here, y'all. Mr. Joe, what you want to drink? Dr. Pepper, you want
Anything, whatever, Sprite, whatever, Dr. Pepper, fine.
strawberries and cream, Dr. Pepper?
No, just.
You want Coke better?
That's fine. Thank you.
Comfortable?
I still have my
Hey.
water.
They all give you choice, all right?
You apparently have never met my kids, they choice about everything, never pay for that.
Are we still on TV?
I got some hungry people in here.
Right at you.
That's why you don't let them down.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna tell you something, I done got hungry, and I got hungry, I get all jittery. Where did Orlando go? Supervisor, you might have more beef than that pig over in,
I'm
Did y'all call on him? Is he coming back?
Yeah, he's on
Okay.
the back. That was all.
You did good.
Thank you, I can go home. My wife will, may or may not feed me tonight. Get you some pizza.
No, I'm good.
You don't,
No, I've already, you're already.
you're all right.
County attorney has to wear many hats.
Here lately, a multitude.
All right.
I'm just the motion, but.
I would like to compliment the people that came in today. There were some we got some good people in this county.
People that you didn't even know we had.
I sure didn't.
Well, at least you got a good idea on the HR and IT.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It's Lord again.
I don't know that I've ever heard, had y'all this quiet before.
So just go ahead and approve, just walk through all of these that you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Picture engineering, he's not gonna be here, but y'all have that in your packet, and that is Longview.
Longview, okay.
Longview Road.
5380.
That's good.
Okay. Need a motion to approve.
Move approval.
Moved by Supervisor Carl, second by Supervisor Little. Any discussion? All in favor?
Let me say this out loud for the video out there so that everybody knows. This is, approval of state aid order to accept SAP 5380.
To accept the release from the release.
Except, that's the finishing product, right?
Yeah,
The
except the
release.
release.
That was Longview Road from, 2 years ago. Carver and Little.
Okay. Next, we've got, Sheriff Department. Okay.
Understand that motion.
Longview Road, they're releasing
The
from
Longview
state
Road.
aid.
Releasing the responsibility.
Releasing the responsibility.
Right, you state aid.
Carver and Little.
We didn't do that project. The county didn't do it, so.
That was contract.
Good contract for that.
All in favor? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we've got the, Sheriff Department closeout DUI seatbelt grant. Need a motion? Motion by, okay.
Yeah, just a request to close out the 2024, seatbelt grant and DUI grant for the sheriff
When we
department.
do those separate, because they're two separate grants.
Yeah, request to, close out the Oklahoma County Sheriff Department grant, DUI grant.
Okay, motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Trainer, to close out, DUI grant.
Right, for 2024.
For 2024. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
And also request to, close out the, seatbelt grant for 2024.
Need a motion to close out seatbelt grant for 2024. Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Okay. We've already did the Chancery Court business.
Road manager's not gonna be here.
Road manager's not gonna be here.
So it's.
We're now down to county administrative business. We've got payroll changes.
Move approval.
Motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Little to approve payroll changes. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. There is a invoice from Pickering. The initial invoice that we approved, was not correct. They sent the corrected, invoice. So first thing we need is a motion to rescind the approval of the former Pickering
approval.
invoice. Motion by Supervisor Carter, second by Supervisor Trainer, all in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Now we need a motion to approve the correct invoice.
approval.
Motion by Supervisor Carter.
Don't slow down.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep
I'm
up.
trying to get a bite.
Take a bite.
If they may approve that one,
I'm gonna have to talk though,
you'll have to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
And then they're approving this, that we have now. Who was the second?
Carver and Trainer.
So October the 7th one, they're gonna rescind that.
How does it?
It was the last,
Okay.
that was on the last meeting. And then this one they're approving. Was that Kelly?
Yes, Bob.
Okay, 5-0.
Okay, we've got Pritchard Engineering, Morgantown Bridge invoice, for approval. Motion by Supervisor Little.
Did I second that?
Wait a minute. Motion, wait a second. Second by Supervisor Williams. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. we've got a budget amendment for the Board of Supervisors.
Move approval.
Motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Trainer. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. We've got, ARPA funds for building and grounds in the amount of, 45. Let me explain this one also. This is a contract that we allocated ARPA funds to have resurfaced the parking lot at the sheriff's department. At that time, it was $40,000. So much time has passed and more damage has occurred. So now it is $45,000 for those repairs. So we need a motion to authorize a $45,000 contract.
That's the concrete and all that. Only thing on there is there's commas in the wrong places. I know if you've seen that invoice, it's all over the place. One's 4,500, one's 40.
Well, it's I looked at that, it's actually, where you think it's 4,500, it's really 45, he just has it.
Okay, yeah, he's got the commas between the four, and it just needs to be corrected.
Between 4 and 5, but it has a zero.
Yeah.
Let me back up a little bit. First, let's get a motion to rescind the original $40,000 contract.
Move approval.
Okay. It's been moved by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Trainer, to rescind the original contract for the amount of $40,000. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Now we need a motion to approve the $45,000 contract. Motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Board attorney.
Carver and Trainer.
Carver and Trainer. Is that all we've got?
Yes, it does, it's got board attorney.
We have that,
Okay. Now we're down to our board attorney.
I need a motion to take the dirt.
It's open meeting.
You're right.
It's an open meeting.
Just have a seat right there.
Smells good in here.
You're welcome to.
Speak to him. I need a motion to take the dirt that is currently at the, road department house that's been piling up to this portal. This board should take that dirt and put no value on that. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna let it go for no value. There's gonna have to be some value in terms of just covering our expenses, we'll get it loaded or whatever. But that is surplus dirt that is of no value. I need to put it on the surplus. The county owns it, so it needs to be put on the surplus.
That's trash dirt.
It's trash dirt is what it is. It's not, it's not red dirt, it's not good dirt. It's filler dirt is what it is.
Glass and brick.
It's got all kinds of stuff in it.
Yeah, a long time coming.
And what we're doing is we're making it surplus so that it has no value. However, there is some cost if someone wants to come and get it. I'm gonna get with our road manager and find out what the cost of, the actual cost of us having an employee put it in there. We just need to have it surplus so that I can do something with it. That's the way, because right now it's building up out there and getting in the way. Is that a fair assessment? That's where we're at.
Motion for approval?
It's been motioned by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Carl, to declare trash dirt as surplus. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Anything else from my board attorney?
Just to give y'all an update, I will be in mediation next week dealing with, a long-term problem that we've had with the county lake. As soon as I know something more certain as to what's happening with that, I'll give everybody a heads up on what's going on. But I will be dealing with that next week at some point, Tuesday, I think.
Just a quick question, does the board president need to travel to mediations, or is it necessary?
If I need y'all, get y'all involved.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, I'd love to have you there, but it ends up being an all-day deal, and you'll choke me before you leave. So I'll go get to handle it.
Okay. Is that all from my board attorney?
Yes, sir, that's all I have today.
Okay, next we've got county business, Morgantown Bridge number 26.
This is some other things here, I don't,
We've approved it.
no, this is what, you know, you have several things, this is something.
Okay, this is an email coming from, our engineer, Mr. Pritchett. Says, at the pleasure of the board, I need the following. Order to advertise bridge number 26, Morgantown, replacement pending environmental permit.
So moved.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little, all in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, the next thing is order for relocation of existing water line. Let me slow down, I'll give you all time to
It's
catch
in
up.
their packet.
It's in the packet.
That's
It's in the
right,
packet.
To remove water line?
To relocate existing water line on Bridge 26. Supervisor Little, motion, second by Supervisor Trainer. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Sign state aid order accepting the SAP 5380.
We did that.
That's the one we've done. Okay, really need the signed stamped orders for the 4
We got
jobs. We've done that. Okay.
I just put the email in there.
All right,
We did all
I
that.
think that's it.
With that, Brian Field asked for a report.
We had money there,
We're
yeah.
still,
We get down to that.
and Ms. Phillips is
Okay.
here.
Oh, Ms. Phillips?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you come on up. right quick.
Mine is not a board action item, I just need that, I called the office and Dee was over here, and I just need a signature on the form that was on your desk, which releases Hodges from the North Star Site
Okay.
Development Project. His bond, he'll be happy because this will release his bond
Okay.
right down here.
You can just email that to me.
Okay, I brought extra copies if you want.
Okay.
You signed
Phyllis, are you
your
calling?
name. Pardon? Am I taller? I'm working on it. I'm doing all I can.
That's it, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
The other one, fill your quick one.
Okay, next we've got the Fuse Cloud contract
EMA.
for EMA. Is that the 7 months? Is that correct?
No,
Okay,
that,
this is right.
VOIP stuff?
when we switched, over to C-Spire, they had, some type of thing that they had to use to, with their phone system. When we switched over, it was, that Fuse was disconnected. Well, the phones, they've been having trouble with their phone since, so Tim went over there and looked at it, and so they have a contract to open that back up, or to renew that contract to get that back so their phones can
Are
work.
all our county phones at C-Spire?
Well, we have C-Spire and AT&T on certain ones. The main line is with C-Spire.
Yeah, move approval.
A motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Train, all in favor? Motion passes unanimously. We've got, Brian Field, airport appointment.
I would like to move approval of, with the two individuals rolled off with their years of appointment. That's what I was understood.
There are 2 slots available, and I know that, one of them has indicated he wants to be reappointed, Mr. Kennedy Neal. And I think we got, I think I got at least 2 of the letters of interest.
Who are they?
Individual. I think I got one from
Fred?
this individual, and I think we also got one from Mr. Daniels, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Mr. Denny Daniels.
Yeah.
Or were there 3?
That were 2 that I know.
Yeah.
Because I think that there was a letter, there was a recommendation letter from somebody for some, so I think it's, so.
I'm gonna move approval of, Fred Neighbors and Denny Daniels.
I'd like to see if we keep Kenny Neal on, he wants to serve again, so.
Well, we'll take them one at a time.
One at a time.
Motion,
I had a motion on the table.
okay, motion by Supervisor Carver to approve Denny Daniels and
Fred Neighbors.
Fred Neighbors. Need a second?
I think we gotta take care of it.
We'll have to get a second in discussion if that's what you want to discuss it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Let's discuss.
got a second, discussion. Okay.
We have to take care of the person who has an interest in coming back. And if there's a position available after filling that position, then at least one of those persons could be appointed. But if two of them is appointed, then I know Mr. Neal asked about the possibility of coming back as a board member. So I wish we would address that situation first and then deal with the two requests that you have available there.
I'll do this, I'll rescind my motion. Then my motion is gonna be for appointment of Kennedy Neal and Fred Neighbors.
Second.
It's been moved and, do we need a motion to, we had a motion and a second, on the original motion.
Can we amend that
Let's just
so that we
amend
don't
it.
have to?
Yeah, let's go through it.
Let's just amend it. And we're amending it to Kennedy
Fred.
Neal and Fred.
Fred Neighbors.
The first one lack of second.
No, it got a second. We just amending the
amended it.
motion.
Yeah, cause we wanted to discuss
No,
it,
we have a second.
Yeah, she said.
First one. Oh,
to
we did have
discuss
a
it,
second on
to
it.
discuss it, yeah.
So the motion, the amended motion is to appoint, Kennedy Neal and Fred Neighbors to the airport board. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Hey, and I do want to, discuss this for just a second, or say something. But like, a lot of these boards, I think, I said something about it when I first got on, and I know, like the hospital has board. But when and it came up at that thing, they were talking about airports and, people having, coming in and out. On our board appointments, we need to start looking at people that have, that can contribute, to the board, that have like a background in whatever board. I'm not picking on the airport board, cause I don't know enough about it, to do. But I'm just saying, there's a lot in the pipelines, and when you're serving on those boards, we got issues with wastewater and stuff and all this other, we might need to think about what, what they bring to the table to help, even if they are just a, volunteer, position. They're important, to be able to know, because, you're supposed to be able to help out, even on the cemetery board. If you're not willing to get out and work and take care of the stuff, at the cemetery, then the cemetery's not gonna be any good. And I'm just throwing that out there. It's always good to be on the board, but if,
To your point, there's people that are not showing up to the boards. I've had some complaints from a couple of the people. Now, that's not to say that that's across the board, but I have had that complaint. But that sometimes you don't know that, we don't know that they're not gonna show up. But you bring up a very valid point. I've just had some people complain to me about it, so I figured to back that up.
well, I was just saying, I know, like, when they were talking about the airport stuff and all, I know it would be good if, there were people that were, that would, or if they would serve, that could help find more money and grants and, be a little more proactive or get more money for people. And I'm not saying anybody can't or doesn't, I'm just saying on all of them.
I think it's beneficial, take that under consideration when we are appointing people to the boards, try and appoint people with the right type of experience. I think anytime this board has an opportunity with an individual that might resign or wish not to be reappointed, that we definitely take that into consideration and appoint some people with that proper experience to the board that they are being appointed to. So I totally agree. Okay, we've got advertisement for an IT position. Motion by Supervisor Little, need a second by, Supervisor Williams, that we, put it out in advertisement for an IT position. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Do we have a good descriptor of this IT person, or does somebody need to be working on getting that together?
We've got one, but we can get it and tweak it. But we've got some job responsibilities listed for an IT person. We advertised for this position once in the past. Yeah, she'll be. Is there, we'll go. Go ahead.
There are some things that can be signed, and, that David came out and see the AT&T, that line, he wanted to do that. Utility line, doing for AT&T.
We need a motion, from our, engineer that we need an agreement for AT&T utility line to be placed on Old Highway 25. Motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Williams. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Mr. President, I'd like a motion that we also advertise for an HR person, human resource person.
It's been moved, by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little, that we advertise for an HR person. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Now, we will have to develop a job qualification for that HR person, job responsibility.
I have some questions after the fact, but we probably need to make it today before I can interview, I can talk to you before you individual.
Okay. Okay, was there something else? Oh, yeah, this was a request coming, the beer permit request, this was coming from Mississippi State, to asking us permission to be able to sell beer at the Coliseum during the basketball games.
I don't understand that,
It's just a
wasn't it already?
renewal, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
just a
the-
renewal, they've already
What?
had it, it's just a renewal.
Yeah, okay, that's all that is a renewal.
Yeah, this is a renewal.
Motion.
Okay, motion by Supervisor, Carter, second by Supervisor Little, all in favor, motion passes unanimously. That's it?
One,
Oh, when did all this
the
come in?
Title II grant for, juvenile, the Title II grant for the.
Is that what came in today?
That came in yesterday from Judge Turner saying, we were already approved for 23-24 Title II, where they do the, juvenile, monitoring. And they got an extension on it because they started it so late, it was new. She just needs y'all to accept the extension on the grant. It was supposed to end September of 24, but they extended it to September of 25.
Need a motion to accept the extension for the Title II grant. Motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Williams. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, we're down to supervisor business. We'll start with Supervisor Little. Oh,
I have one more thing before we move on. The letter that we did to ask for input on the hospital, did everybody have a chance to, I mean, it was just a pretty short generic letter, but did that letter, did it go out already, or have we?
I hadn't seen it.
Right, we maybe go ahead and get that letter out this week. But y'all already given me permission to send it out. I just wanna make sure that y'all had had a chance to look at it, but we'll make sure you get a chance to look at it.
okay. We'll start with Supervisor Little, supervisor business.
I do not have anything, except I'm grateful that Warren County is started, and, that's all I got at the moment.
Okay. Supervisor Carter.
No, sir.
Supervisor Trainer.
Yes, and not in your packet, but I think I sent a revised service level agreement to Mr. Roberts in regards to that project we talked about last time. And so if the language and everything fits your approval.
The language is like any other contract we've signed, so it's a generic contract.
And the addition was that the county was going to seek an outside vendor to provide the services. That's what we agreed on last time. So if you're in agreement with that, then you can just sign, print off a original, get the president to sign it.
Yes, sir.
It'll be, we can move forward.
You know what you're talking
I
about.
do.
So if, Ms. Deanna, if it's, can print, yeah, well, your printer's not working functioning. Once it gets going, print off a good original, and that way Mr. Howard can sign it.
Or if she wants to email it to me, well, I'll be out till Monday.
Is that the same, oh, you.
It's just revised,
Okay.
the first one.
Okay, I will.
And have you already got someone to work on that?
No, we're working on trying to get the whole thing together. We'll probably have another presentation for y'all, probably know another place how we're gonna do it.
We did do a board order for that, correct?
Yeah, we did a board order for
We
it.
did.
Okay, I'm trying to make sure I understand on track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a board
Oh, yeah, I-
already in play.
I can print it
Anything
out.
else, Supervisor Train?
No, no, sir, that's it.
Supervisor Williams?
Thanks, sir.
Okay, I've just got one request to install a cover to give a person access to their property over on Douglastown Road. That's my motion, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. If there's nothing else coming from the board, we have our preferred candidate back with us. So we're gonna need a motion to go into closed session to see about possibly discussing salary for this position. So I
Move approval.
motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Williams, that we go into closed session. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
I attended just get a funeral from Miss Patricia.
That's all.
That will take care of it.
So I just.
Yeah, she's from Bethel community. She lives right out there by the Bethel
We'll get our
Church.
tickets taken care of.
Oh, I know.
You good. She worked for me.
Okay, we've,
It is for the, no, this is, she lives right there by the Bethel Church.
we've
The
had
whole family, they all live right
executive
in there.
session, with no action taken. Now, we need a board, a motion and a second to hire Mr. Wayne Carpenter as Octavia County's administrator.
Motion that.
Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little, that we, hire Wayne Carpenter as our next Octavia County administrator. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Welcome aboard and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Not gonna let you down. Thank you so much.
November 4th is his start date.
His start date is November 4th.
Their next board meeting. So while since Felicia's gonna be off, maybe he can go with y'all over there to do.
Do you have time now to walk over and meet the rest of the staff?
Yes, sir.
Cause
Yes,
she'll
sir.
be out tomorrow and, another one of the staff members will be out.
I certainly do.
Okay, sounds good. So, yeah, we need a, set the next meeting, November 4th at 9 a.m. will be our next board meeting. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Trainer. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. We are now.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well, we got lucky,
Thank you.
November 4th.
Yes. No,